Pyroclasm to Pioneer. I am thrilled today to be playing this exciting reprint in Lotus Field Combo. Let's go check it out. This video is proudly sponsored by Card Market. Pyroclasm has been reprinted in Duskmourn House of Horror, and if you're unfamiliar with this reprint, it is a 2-mana sorcery for 1 and a red, and it deals 2 damage to each creature. Why is that good in Lotus Field Combo? Well, in order to understand that, you have to understand that Lotus Field is a deck that aims to win the games on turn. It can win the game on turn 3, but it's really a turn 4, turn 5 deck. And decks that are faster, like really aggressive aggro strategies, tend to be favored versus Lotus Field Combo. So the best deck in the format right now is actually Rakdos Prowess. And Pyroclasm is the perfect solve for that matchup because they're a deck full of small creatures that, they look to pump up and then win the game. So Arboreal Grazer is typically how we beat those decks because it's a 0/3 card that accelerates into your Lotus Field, allowing you to win a little bit quicker while making a blocker. While Pyroclasm deals 2 to each creature, Arboreal Grazer has 3 toughness. So that means that you can threaten to block, maybe don't block, and then clear the board with the Pyroclasm after. So that way you can then block on the following turn and then create that window to cast Pore over the pages into Emergent Ultimatum or whatever you're going to do to win that game. So it does come at a cost. We're no longer playing Impulse. In my last video, I played 4. Today we're playing 2 main deck Pyroclasm, a second copy of Dark Petition, and then the 4th copy of Archdruid's Charm. That is because if we're slowing the game down with Pyroclasm, these heavy hitting cards like Archdruid's Charm and the Dark Petition increase consistency quite a bit. So we're able to slow the game down so that way our cards that are more consistent than Impulse get to do their job. That is the idea. We have 2 additional copies of Pyroclasm on the board. Path of Peril is a 5th sweeper that you can find off of Dark Petition and then cast. So you do have 6 cards that you want to board out versus blue decks now. Speaking of which, Izzet Phoenix is the second most popular deck in the format, and you want to board out Arboreal Grazer and these Pyroclasms. Yes, Pyroclasm does kill Arclight Phoenix, but it just comes back. So you have 6 cards to bring in between Silence, Mystical Dispute, and Dragonlord Dramoka. And that is the idea. So I've really thought about the board mapping as well. This wasn't just cards thrown in. I carefully crafted this deck list, and I hope that you enjoy it today. If you do, please like, comment, subscribe, support the channel. But without any further ado, I want to hop in and cast one of my oldest favorite cards, Pyroclasm. I'll see you in the first round. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us like theepicswurm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicswurm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We are on the play with Pioneer Lotus Field Combo featuring Pyroclasm. Alright, we've opened up a stellar hand. I will keep this. We don't have the mana to play Pyroclasm on turn 2, but we have Lotus Field, we have the Thespian stage, we have Vizier and a Pore over the pages. I mean, this hand is very good. We'll play the basic forest and pass the turn. Alright, so it looks like we're likely facing a matchup where this Pyroclasm is at least decent. We'll play the Boseiju Who Endures, pass the turn. Main deck High Noon. Okay, sure, you got it. I have played a Boseiju, so that's, my own undoing, but here's an Archdruid's Charm. We'll play the Lotus Field, sacrifice these 2, pass the turn. So we're not facing an aggro deck, we're facing some sort of weird prison deck with main deck High Noons. Sure, that's the world we live in now. Another High Noon, wow, okay. We drew another Charm. We will pass. They play a Sacred Foundry. I have no idea what this card does, but I'm going to just copy my Lotus Field here. Alright, so let's get rid of my sideboard, or at least slide it down. Whenever 1 or more of your tokens enter, draw a card, this ability triggers once per turn. Sure. So on their next end step, I can... Well, actually, I need to separate it. I can't actually do it all at once. So let's play the Bala Ged Recovery. And now we will exile a High Noon, and then on their end step we'll exile the other. Double Archdruid's Charm looking very good to start off this league. Pyroclasm against whatever this deck is, not looking as good. A third High Noon. Sure, you got it. On their end step, we will exile the second High Noon. Ketria Triome. Let's play a Pore over the pages. Untap, untap. It's weird, it asks you to untap the lands after you click on them now. That is a new feature. I will discard the Arboreal Grazer. We have 1 mana floating. I guess I get to play a land here. I'll cycle the Ketria Triome. And I cannot play the Sylvan Scrying because I've already played a card for my turn. So we will pass. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So this is just like Boros enchantments. And now they get to create another goblin. Or no, they get to draw a card. My bad. That's what it does. It doesn't copy it. It draws a card. So yeah, this is just Enchantress, I guess. Pretty neat. Peer into the Abyss. Alright, so I have 8 mana in play. 9 if I count the Vizier. So Sylvan Scrying brings me down to 7. Besager brings me down to 5. I can then play Pore over the pages, which creates a mana, so that I can go Dark Petition, Hidden Strings, into Peer into the Abyss. And I would just have to find something off Pore that makes mana like another land, because I haven't played a land yet. So let's start off by cycling the Vizier. Untap Lotus Field. We'll draw. Oh, speaking of Hidden Strings, there it is. So we will play Sylvan Scrying. We'll grab a Besager who endures. We'll blow up the High Noon. Triple High Noon, not going to be good enough. I will now play Hidden Strings. Yes, yes. We can now play Dark Petition. Go grab another Hidden Strings. Play the Hidden Strings. Yes, yes. And now we'll say blue. We'll play Peer into the Abyss. And we'll draw 20 cards. Okay, so 22 cards in hand, 20 cards left in deck. There's another Hidden Strings. Let's play that. Yes, yes. And our opponent has conceded. Nice. Triple High Noon. How about that? Alright, so what we don't need is Pyroclasm, or at least I don't think we do. So I'm going to board those out. I'll bring in the Into the Flood Maw. And now we're at 59 cards. I could bring in like a random Silence or a Mystical Dispute. Trying to counterspell one of their problematic enchantments. Silence stops a removal spell on Omniscience or Lier, so I feel like that might be better. You could also bring in the Approach if you think that they have some way to, like a Stone Brain to exile your Fae of Wishes. Maybe bringing in the Approach is the move. Well, I guess I still have Peer into the Abyss to win with 2. I do love winning with Peer into the Abyss. That is certainly true. Let's try this. I uploaded a video, geez, 2-3 weeks ago. You can find that video on the card above, where I win with Peer into the Abyss, and it was a lot of fun. We don't have Lotus Field, but the rest of the hand is fine. We'll try this out. They play Sacred Foundry. Let's play the Ketria Triome, and then we'll pass the turn. Battlefield Forge. Emergent Ultimatum, not bad. I'm going to play this Bala Ged Recovery and pass. So I thought about holding it because it does make it easier for me to win with Peer into the Abyss later. And the reason I'm not is these lands like Besager, Otawara, these are lands that have value with bouncing permanents like we saw in game number 1, and I don't want to just throw them away. Alright, so they play the Caretaker's Talent, Mana Confluence. We'll play Mana Confluence, pass the turn. Land number 4. And they're just passing. Sure. Another Bala Ged Recovery. Play Thespian Stage. And I know this seems a little odd. I think I'm going to play Granted here. And the choice is, like, do I grab a Mystical Dispute or do I grab a Silence? Part of me thinks Mystical Dispute. And then just, like, threaten a counterspell until I can find my Lotus Field. They flash in a Wandering Emperor. You got it. So they're going for the beatdown. Where's the Pyroclasm when you need one now? They play land number 5. And now they get to draw a bunch of cards using Caretaker's Talent plus the Wandering Emperor. I'll take 2 off of the Samurai token. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. They've already drawn a card this turn, so the Caretaker's Talent will not draw a card. And a High Noon. Yep. Well, there's the Charm. That gets my Lotus Field. We'll play the Otawara. And let's pass the turn. They discard Get Lost, which is why I brought in the Silence, like this card in particular. They put a counter on their Samurai token. So now they're going to attack for 7. I will go to 10. And they can always sacrifice this High Noon to deal me 5. They draw a card off of the Caretaker's Talent. So I am running out of time here. There was a choice I had this game on what land to play out turn 3. And I almost played out a Thespian stage to copy my Ketria Triumph. And I was like, is that even good? I don't know. What if they destroy it? So I held it in my hand. And now I'm actually sort of paying the price. Because if I wanted, and now it copies the tokens, by the way, the Caretaker's Talent. Because I want to play End Step Archdruid's Charm for Lotus Field and then Beseiju, but I only have 3 green. They play a Rest in Peace, that's fine. Alright, so we're going to tap for green, triple green, and I'll play the Archdruid's Charm. We're going to go find our Lotus Field. Sacrifice the Bala Ged Recovery and Mana Confluence. And I would want to use the Beseiju here, but I can't. Vizier. So I could copy Lotus Field, go up to 4 mana, but that still leaves me 1 short of then playing Pore over the pages. So I could play out the Beseiju, and then I can make the play I want to make, but I'd have to draw another Beseiju to blow up the High Noon, or else I lose. Because they already have lethal on board. Alternatively, I could just try to draw an untapped land off the Vizier cycle, so maybe we start there, because it's a play I already want to make. So let's untap the Lotus Field, and then draw a card. Sylvan Scrying does not help here. Yeah, I'm just 1 mana short. So I'm just going to play Pore over the pages here, because I think that's the best line. And we drew 3 duds. So I think I'm dead. Discard a Sylvan Scrying. Yeah, I'm dead here. I needed a better draw. Okay. Bummer. So now we're going to game number 3. I think my board plan was fine. I just need to play better and draw better. Because there was a couple small decisions that cost us that game. Very good hand. We'll keep. I do like with this mana base that the Ketria Triumph cycles later. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to cycle it, but it's an option. I guess that's what I was trying to say here. So I don't have a 2-drop, so I think I'm actually going to hold the Arboreal Grazer and pass, because then I can sacrifice the Bala Ged Recovery next turn to the Lotus Field and not actually lose any tempo unless I draw exactly a 2-mana spell. Another Ketria Triumph. Okay, so we'll play the Bala Ged Recovery, and then we'll play Arboreal Grazer, put the Lotus Field on the table, and now we'll sacrifice these 2. Pass the turn. They play Bitter Reunion, sure. Discards a Battlefield Forge. Hidden Strings, not a bad draw. We'll just copy our Lotus Field now, and pass the turn. They play tapped Sacred Foundry, and a High Noon. Yep. We have Into the Flood Maw. I don't think I'm actually supposed to bounce this yet, though, because I can't actually do anything. So let's just cycle a Ketria Triumph. Well, alright, now we're in a good spot to win next turn. And I'm going to cycle this Ketria Triumph 2 in case I draw a land. Speaking of lands, I'm going to hold this Bala Ged Recovery. I don't think I want to play it out. But we are in a spot where on my turn I can bounce the High Noon and then try to win the game. They play Fable of the Mirror Breaker. 1 land open. Tap for a blue. We will gift our opponent a tapped fish. Cast High Noon, or cast Into the Flood Maw on High Noon. So if I tap this for white, can I still Hidden Strings into a win? Because this would play around them having a silence. I think it works, so let's play silence. Alright, they're F6, they don't have anything. We'll play Hidden Strings, and I know that it seems silly that I silenced there, because I could have had a much easier win if I didn't. But I don't want to get blown out by my opponent having a silence and then just losing the game. So I am choosing to play around something that seems silly, but I feel like is pretty free. Alright, I'm going to tap this for blue. We'll now Hidden Strings. Yes, yes, no. And we can now tap for black, green, and play the Emergent Ultimatum. I will choose Peer into the Abyss, Omniscience, and Dark Petition. And the opponent concedes. So while we didn't really play Pyroclasm at all this match, it's still a win. I'll take those. We're 1-0 to start off this Pioneer League. Hopefully we get to cast Clasm in match number 2. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we're on the play. Good hand, we will keep. Let's start off with a Ketria Triome and pass the turn. Uh-oh, are we facing the Boogeyman? No 1-drop on turn 1 if we are. And there's Pyroclasm. So if they are on the best deck in the format, we have the card that we're playing today specifically for that matchup. We'll play the Sylvan Scrying, grab Thespian Stage, pass the turn. They have a basic mountain. Whenever this deals damage to a player, you may sacrifice it if you do proliferate. When it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. So they are, in fact, on the Prowess deck. And we drew Grazer. I'll play the Stage. And then I'll play Grazer. And I could just Pyroclasm here, but I think my Grazer is going to buy me enough time. I will sacrifice the Ketria Triome and the Mana Confluence. Pass the turn. Another thing I could do this turn is block with the Grazer. Okay, they played a Monstrous Rage on their creature. So I could block, and then next turn Pyroclasm plus copy my Lotus Field. They swing. I will throw my Grazer in front. So this encourages them to use a trick here. They played a Monstrous Strength. Titan Strength. I misspoke. Am I dead? Wow, I'm exactly dead. That is crazy. They had the perfect amount of damage. Wow. That is insane. I guess it's my own fault for not Pyroclasming only a 1/1 creature. That was nuts. Alright, so let's bring in the additional Pyroclasms and the Path of Peril. We might want this into the Floodmaw, so we're at 64. We need to board out some cards. So I still like the Arboreal Grazer. It is a speed-based card. I think Charm can be a little slow in this matchup, so we're going to board out 2 of those. We'll board out the Dark Petition, and then I think Peer into the Abyss is just not really a card we're interested in here. You could talk me into leaving double Dark Petition if we have the Path of Peril, and then I think you have to board out another Charm. So if that's the case, should you just board out all 4 Charms and then keep the Peer? That way your Emergent Ultimatums are almost guaranteed lethal. I mean, they usually are, but you don't have to think about it as much. You could also look at Leyline, but I wonder if you're overboarding if you do that. I'm going to try this out. No Lotus Field, no Stage. I think you're supposed to mulligan. This is missing land number 2, but it is good. I'll keep him bottom the Pore over the pages. Like, this hand could be really risky. They opened up on the Leyline too. Alright. They have another 1-drop. It's basically the same card that they played in the first game. Like, it's a heroic creature that when it dies, it deals that much damage equal to its power. And we did not hit the land. We have to pass. They have a Blood Crypt. And they swing for 1. So they're going to copy it using the Leyline. Okay, I'm going to allow this to happen. So this is 8 damage. No blocks. We'll take 8. I'm at 12. And now we'll into the Floodmaw on their creature. So this is going to fizzle. Okay, so we definitely need land number 2 here. We missed. Brutal. Back-to-back draws, not hitting a land. Monastery Swiftspear. Ancestral Anger. Yep. This deck is certainly powerful. We're going to take 4 at the bare minimum here. And they replayed the hero. So I need an untapped red land. I have one of 4 mana confluences I could draw here. Another Lotus Field. Not the second land I wanted. Alright, so I did not draw well after my mulligan. You know, I could have gone to 5, but I didn't. I thought that Into the Floodmaw plus the Pyroclasm was enough to buy me time. And I'm going to concede to the Thoughtseize. So, unfortunate. We did not win match number 2, and we are now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. That was a tough loss, but we're going to try to do better in match number 3. No, I don't think we're supposed to keep this. I mean, this is closer. We're a ways away from Archdruid's Charm actually being good, but I think we're supposed to keep this, get rid of the Fae of Wishes. We'll play Mana Confluence, play the Grazer, put in Thespian Stage, pass the turn. Temple Garden into Llanowar Elves, okay. We did not draw a land, and we can't really do anything, so we need to draw some lands. Okay, they play a Giada. Things are not looking good right now. Yeah. So I think part of what we're seeing is the downside of not playing Impulse. And I know that sounds a little revisionist right now, but Impulse creates a lot of smoothing for the deck, and we cut the smoothing. So now your draws are really high variance. You're either drawing the nut or you're not. And I feel like that's part of the issue we're seeing here. And I'm not the only one. So when I made my deck list today, I studied a lot of the deck lists that are being played right now, that are being published through MTG Goldfish. And Impulse, even though my last video had 4, the recent ones have 1 or 0. And I think that's sort of the problem with what we're seeing here. Another Grazer, come on. Alright, I'm going to save myself the time here and we'll just concede. I needed to draw a land much earlier, so that way I could copy my land and then play the Archdruid's Charm. It just didn't happen. So we're going to go to the next game. I don't know how good Pyroclasm is against Angels, if I'm being honest, so I'm going to board them out, and I'll bring in the one Into the Floodmaw, and let's try this. We had the match where Pyroclasm is supposed to be very good. I might have misplayed in game 1 by not playing the Pyroclasm on just the creature, but it didn't feel like I was getting, you know, all of the juice with that squeeze. So I was like, I have a blocker with Grazer. Next turn I can block, I can cycle, copy the Lotus Field and Pyroclasm. But then I died for exact damage. So that's tough. And then in game 2 we didn't draw lands. Last game we didn't draw lands. Like, I can't keep this. It's just a million lands and nothing else. No stage, no Lotus Field. We'll go to 6. I mean, this isn't really anything better. Am I supposed to go to 5? The best hand we've seen. Keep. Get rid of the Dark Petition. Get rid of a Vizier. Okay. We'll play the Bala Ged Recovery. Pass the turn. Turn 1 Elvish Mystic. We find Ketria Triome. Not a great draw. We'll play Sylvan Scrying. Let's go grab that Thespian Stage. Pass the turn. They have the Giada again. And another Elvish Mystic. So Pyroclasm would be really good here. Maybe I should have left it in. We have the Charm, which honestly isn't that great here. So I can play this the stage, and then on the end step cycle Ketria Triome, untap, play Lotus Field and copy it. They play a Temple Garden. And it looks like they're leaving open Collected Company mana. Okay, sure. Damping Sphere. I do have the Charm. So let's copy our Forest. And now we're going to exile the Damping Sphere. We'll play Lotus Field. And pass the turn. 6 mana for a Kaya's Reconstruction. So look at the top 7, put X artifacts or creatures onto the battlefield. And it looks like they did not find a Damping Sphere, but they found a lot of other stuff. And it looks like I'm going to be dead next turn. So we need like a string of miracle draws here. Like Hidden Strings plus Pore over the pages, I think, are our starting points. Wow, this card, I've never seen this card. Very good in the Angels deck. So we drew the Pore. I think the only way I win this is if I Vizier into Hidden Strings here, and that's just a starting point, because then the Pore Over the Pages needs to hit. So we'll draw. That was not a Hidden Strings, so I have to, whoops, cancel. Pore Over the Pages. Yep, that's not good enough. Wow. Not looking good for the home team. We're now 1-2. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Not the way I wanted this league to go. That said, it's another time to turn the corner, another opportunity, all that good stuff. And this hand seems fine enough to me. We will keep. It's a shame that both of our lands here are tapped lands between the Bala Ged Recovery and the Ketria Triome, because I cannot play Sylvan Scrying on time on turn 2 at the moment. That said, we already have the Lotus Field, and, you know, it's not the end of the world, but it'd be better if one of those lands were untapped so I could play this. We will play Ketria Triome, pass. Temple Garden. No! I am truly the worst. I tried to zoom in on this card so I could read it to everyone, and I hit the 2 button, which skipped my turn. I can't catch a break right now. Yep. That is devastating. We just gave Boggles a free time walk. Yikes. Okay. Another Lotus Field. Perfect. Pass the turn. I mean, I do think Pyroclasm is actually good in this matchup. It's just the fact that 1, we didn't draw it, and 2, I time walked myself. So I don't think I'm going to have enough time to win this game. We're taking 7 here. They have 10 damage on board. I'm at 11. Yeah, I mean, I cost myself this game. It's my own fault. Alright. Let's just go to game number 2. We'll bring in the Path of Peril. And I think I want both Pyroclasms. We'll board out some copies of Arboreal Grazer. And the extra Dark Petition. Let's try this. My fault for wanting to read a card and misclicking. Am I supposed to keep this? I mean, if I draw an untapped green land, we have a turn 2 Archdruid's Charm. We'll play Boseiju, play Grazer, and we'll put Mana Confluence in. Pass the turn. Alright, they play turn 1 Glade Cover Scout. We did not draw the untapped land. I am going to play the Vizier here. So this allows me to guarantee next turn play the Archdruid's Charm into Lotus Field. And then on top of that, with the Vizier in play, it sort of acts like a Thespian stage where I can use Hidden Strings to untap it, and then tap Lotus Field twice in 1 turn. And they exile my Vizier, so I am just punished. We will block. I draw a stage. We'll pass. Okay. Cartouche of Solidarity. Alright, Pyroclasm 1 time off the top rope. Let's see it. No block. On the end step, I'm going to copy Mana Confluence, which also gives me the out of drawing Path of Peril. Draw. Draw another Thespian stage. I'll play the stage. Pass the turn. So on the end step here, I can Archdruid's Charm to go get a Lotus Field. They play Audacity. So I could have done it in my main phase, burned the Hidden Strings, and then copied the Lotus Field. But it left me open to just being dead, and I didn't want that. So it was an option I had, but I didn't do it. And we'll soak up 3 here. And now I'm at 7. Alright, so on the end step, I'm going to take 2 damage. And we'll play the Archdruid's Charm to search for Lotus Field. Sacrifice the Boseiju and Mana Confluence. Vizier, okay. Let's cycle the Vizier. Untap the Lotus Field. We'll draw a card. Sylvan Scrying. We'll copy Lotus Field. Do I actually not have enough mana here? Or do I? Yes. Yes. So I have not made a land drop. So we do have enough mana. But I should tap this for mana now. And I will peer into the abyss. So I have to draw Hidden Strings plus untapped land. Well, there's an untapped land. So now there just needs to be a Hidden Strings. And there's a Hidden String. So we will play Hidden Strings, untap, untap, and now Pore Over the Pages, which makes a mana. Untap, untap, discard a Lotus Field. We'll play another Pore over the pages. Untap, untap. Discard Lotus Field. We did not hit anything else, really. I mean, I have a Lier, which probably just wins the game. Yeah, let's just play Lier. And now Hidden Strings. Yes, yes. And we'll put it onto the Lier. Hidden Strings again. Okay. And now we can Pore over the pages. Just slowly drawing my entire deck here. Discard a Boreal Grazer. And now we'll Pore over the pages again. Untap, untap. Discard Thespian Stage. Alright, well, it looks like we're just going to draw until I hit my Omniscience. It is somewhere in here. Pore over the pages. And our opponent concedes. Alright, so now we're off to game 3 where I need to win on the draw. Pyroclasm is good here, so let's see it shine. It would be nice to at least get a meaningful cast of it in this video. Our opponent has kept 7. We've opened up a hand that is a do-nothing. Mulligan. So, I mean, if I rip the second land, this is not bad. I'm going to keep it because I don't think I like my odds on 5. Double a Boreal Grazer is a little sketchy too, but I don't know. I think it's good enough. Glade Cover Scout. And there's the second land. We'll play Ketria Triome. I would like to draw another land, because then I don't have to sacrifice the Thespian Stage, I don't have to cast the Archdruid's Charm to get stage, and that costs time. So it'd be really nice if I could draw another land. They play the Light Paws. I would also take a Pyroclasm right now. Pyroclasm off the top rope would be insane. Hidden Strings. We will play a Boreal Grazer. Put the Lotus Field on the table. I did not like that I had to sacrifice the Thespian Stage there. They play a Griff's Boon. And now the Light Paw searches their deck for an Ethereal Armor. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to win. Like, we're just too far away. Like, I guess how I win this, hypothetically, the perfect 2 cards off the top rope would be Thespian Stage into Pore over the pages, and then Pore has to hit 3 perfects. I could also draw into a Path of Peril that is, like, our only out. Like, we have 1 in our main deck. There's 1 Dark Petition. But I'd have to get up to Spell Mastery 2. We ripped the Singleton Path of Peril. Wow. Alright. Send you to the Stone Age, I guess. That was an insanely lucky draw. And, like, they're still in it. I'm at 8. And there's another Light Pause. Like, I could be dead next turn. Okay, Pyroclasm, please. Fae of Wishes. Let's cycle the Vizier. Untap the Lotus Field. Please give me Pyroclasm. Pretty please. Another Vizier. Alright, so if I tap for green, and then cycle the Vizier, I can play Grazer and search for my stage using Archdruid's Charm. It's not great, but it's an option. Pore over the pages. So like I mentioned, this gives me a blocker in Grazer, and I could search for my land. I could also just play Pore, trying to spike a Pyroclasm because we have 4 of them. But I would only untap the 1 Lotus Field, plus I'm not set up to win after that. So I think I'm supposed to tap for green. We'll go grab a Thespian Stage. Play Grazer as my blocker at 8 life and hope that it's good enough. And I want to draw an untapped land next turn so I can copy Lotus Field, Hidden Strings, Pore. Cartouche of Solidarity. Am I still dead? Another Ethereal Armor. They play a land, 1 card left. Deafening Silence. Wow. Their last card was Deafening Silence? I don't think we're capable of winning now. And that was the way too late Pyroclasm. Ah. Wow. So if you're saying, I'm just talking through this, I did search in my deck with the Archdruid's Charm last turn. So if I had played the Pore, I would not have drawn this Pyroclasm because I shuffled my deck. So I'm just throwing that out there because some people might have been saying, well, you should have played the Pore over the pages. We shuffled. Cards were different. Excuse me there. Had a cough. But yeah, I believe we're just dead here. So I guess one way we could live. Alright, there is a way we could live. We'll play Fae of Wishes. And now we'll Hidden Strings. Yes. Yes. And we'll put the Hidden Strings on the Fae of Wishes. We need our opponent to draw a land. That is how we live. Pass the turn. It looks like they did not draw a land. Oh, Griffspoon from the graveyard. Okay. So that does not kill me. We have to block the Light Paws or else I'm dead. So we'll do that. Maybe I shouldn't have put the Hidden Strings on the Fae then, because then I would have a Hidden Strings in my graveyard. So how we win is I need a perfect Pore over the pages. So like Hidden Strings action spell Beseiju. Alright, Pore over the pages. And it was not perfect. So we lose. We're now 1-3. Things are looking very grim. I don't know what else to say here. I realize that I haven't played perfectly, but I don't think it's all just me. I will say that. I realize that I skipped a turn. I haven't played as well as I could have. I mean, I get all of those things, but it feels like Lotus Field Combo is just too slow right now. That's at least my initial gauge. Let's see if I can squeak out a win in match number 5. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? The final round, we're facing fellow content creator Doomwake. I'm on the draw. We have Lotus Field and Thespian stage. My concern here is that Gigantha usually means that they're on an aggro deck. Zergo Bellstriker, well, my assumption was right. So this is definitely a good matchup for Pyroclasm if we can manage to draw one. We'll play the Ketria Triome, pass the turn. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Yes, I would like Pyroclasm, please. Another Ketria Triome. We'll just play a Forest here and pass. They'll attack for 4, I go to 14. So I've been sitting on this opinion for a while now. And as good as it looked in match number 1, I kind of think Archerd's Charm is way too clunky. But like everybody that plays this deck plays 4 of it now. But I'm sort of the opinion that this card is just not good enough anymore. Like it was really good when it was printed. And then since then the format has sped up a bunch. And I think that we're all like clinging onto this card that is no longer appropriate. Or if you want to play it, like 2's probably a good number. But I think playing 4 and no impulse is just not good enough because the card is just so slow. I'm at 5. Yeah, like we've lost this already. Even if I draw the Pyroclasm, this thing's a 3/3. We just got ran over. Yeah, not fast enough. So we lost game number 1. Another thought is, like, should Voyaging Satyr come back? Because that's a card that speeds you up even further. A card that a lot of people tend to think about is Growth Spiral, but the problem is that you're a deck with a bunch of tap lands and you're a deck with Thespian stage. So hitting Growth Spiral on turn 2 into Lotus Field is like really difficult. If this deck wanted to be sped up in a meaningful way, like Explorer would be the perfect card. Explorer is not Pioneer legal, so that is the big problem there. We're going to try this. Like, if Explorer was legal, this deck would be more competitive against all of these, like, hyper aggro decks. Because it seems like the big problem is that, like, I just die before I get to do anything. It seems like Lotus Field Combo is not very good anymore. I mean, we'll keep this. I mean, I have Hidden Strings, 2 lands, and Sylvan Scrying for Lotus Field. Like, the Thespian stage is good. I do need to draw another land. But this seems like a fine keep. We'll play the Breeding Pool, pass the turn. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm whining or crying or whatever. I'm trying to explain why this deck is not being successful. I realize that I could have played better this league, don't get me wrong. I have not played this deck since the last time I recorded it. But it's not all just me like losing the game. It's a lot of it feels like it's the deck. We hit the lane I wanted. Alright, so I think I'm supposed to take the damage here, so that way I don't sacrifice the stage next turn. We'll grab the Lotus Field, pass. We have 4 Pyroclasm, which seem like amazing draws if I can hit one. Thalia, I would still love a Pyroclasm. I'm at 15. Omniscience. We will play Lotus Field. Sacrifice our lands, pass the turn. Yep. So we're taking a bunch of damage here. So I'm going to take 7. So they have lethal next turn with a Thalia in play. Alright. Vizier is not bad. I would love to draw Pyroclasm. The Zergo will live through it, but at least it would mop up their other creatures. So we'll cycle a Vizier, draw a card. Dark Petition, that gets Path of Peril, which is actually very good. So let's cycle the Vizier again. I do not have Spell Mastery, so I would have to play Hidden Strings. We'll draw a card. So I can copy the stage, or use stage to copy the Lotus Field, and I still have 3 mana here to play through the Thalia. So we'll say yes, yes. I now have Spell Mastery, so I can... Dark Petition costs 6, and then the Path of Peril would cost 4 due to the Thalia. So if I want to do this line, I have to play the Hidden Strings. So we'll untap our Lotus Field. Yes, yes. Tap this for black. We'll play Dark Petition. We'll grab the Path of Peril. Tap this for green. We'll play Path of Peril. Okay. They have no hand. And they did not reveal Giganta this game. I'm going to pass. I could play out the Arboreal Grazer, but that might be a card I want to discard to a Pore over the pages, so I'm not going to do that. They drew another land. There's a Pyroclasm. Let's just pass here. On the end step, I can use the Archdruid's Charm to go get Lier, Disciple of the Drowned. Kythian, sure. Alright, let's play the Archdruid's Charm. Grab Lier, Disciple of the Drowned. Another Pyroclasm. I mean, our opponent's Hellbent. I think I'm supposed to just hide the... Okay, maybe I should play 2 blockers in case something happens. But I think I'm supposed to hide Pyroclasm and not show it for game 3. We'll play the Arboreal Grazer. Pass the turn. They drew Thalia. So I guess I'm going to show the Pyroclasm. It's either that or cast the Path of Peril in the graveyard. Which I could do, rather than show them Pyroclasm. So we'll do black, blue. Let's play Path of Peril. And now we'll play Hidden Strings on tap. Yes, yes. And then we'll put this onto the Lier. And they concede. Alright, game 3. Let's see if our deck is good to us. Let's see if I can get half my entry fee back with a very sad 2-3. Double Pyroclasm. I think I'm into that. Keep. Just land go. We'll play Mana Confluence. Play the Arboreal Grazer. We'll put Breeding Pool onto the table. Pass the turn. Tomic, that does not die to Pyroclasm. That is annoying. I will play Lotus Field. What it does die to, though, is double Pyroclasm. I'm just throwing that out there. It does die to double Pyroclasm. Okay. I have a feeling I am casting double Pyroclasm next turn. We will block. And they play Zergo Bellstriker. That's just free, considering I was already going to Pyroclasm. Alright, we'll play Thespian Stage. This is kind of funny. We will play Pyroclasm. And another Pyroclasm. Pass the turn. Sure. You got it. They give their creatures haste. That's 4 damage coming in. I'm at 15 now. Copy the Lotus Field. I'm going to play the Ketria Triome here because I don't think we're going to have time to cycle it. And that this way, next turn Boseiju can be my untap land if need be to keep the spell chain going. The Kythian. They give all their creatures haste. And now they attack. The Kythian will transform here into Gideon on the back. Okay. They're Hellbent. We draw Path of Peril. I mean, it's not terrible, but I'd like to try to win this turn. So let's play Pore over the pages. Peer into the Abyss, huh? Discard Ketria Triome. We'll play our land for the turn. Peer into the Abyss. Here we go. 26 cards in hand. Hidden Strings. And Doomwake concedes, so we got the 2-3. I know that I complained a lot through this league. I also didn't play as well as I could have this league. I would like to acknowledge that. That said, Impulse was sorely missed. Pyroclasm, I don't think we got to showcase that well because we missed our land drop in the one matchup it was supposed to be good in. I am becoming very lukewarm on Archdruid's Charm. I would like to try not playing this moving forward. You could try Growth Spiral as another way to speed the deck up, but I've fallen out of love with Archdruid's Charm. Like, I think it needs to go. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Maybe I just suck because I did not play that well this league, but I don't think I'm entirely wrong about this, so I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and after you do that, click that join button. It contains all of our membership information, such as access to our members exclusive Discord, members exclusive videos, and the best perk in my opinion, you can watch all of our videos early, 1 to 2 weeks in advance. That way you're always up to date on the latest and greatest content.